gosh, they were talking about, especially with the World Cup happening right now, like, people are more interested than soccer than ever, and baseball is in trouble, and all these different things. Gosh, I think, things are better than ever for soccer, but I think the people that are really for soccer are really looking at this thing with rose-colored glasses, and they overestimate the general interest in soccer. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
First of all, I love soccer, and I've watched call it 150 to 200 matches of international / World Cup soccer. I've got myself through 2 MLS games. One of them was live.
Right.
So I went to one.
So you barely made that one.
And honestly, I had a great time. I got to tell you, I went to see the New York Football Club, and I had a great time. And there were some fans there, some dedicated fans. And when you watch certain teams, Kansas City, out where you are, it's big. Portland, Seattle, the Timbers and the Sounders, they're really big into it. It hasn't taken off countrywide yet, but people over here, and maybe I'm a little biased because I live in New York, which is just filled with people from all places of the world. There's a great community for soccer here in New York. I just don't know if the trend will ever surpass some of the sports here. Basketball, namely, because basketball, thanks to David Stern, became a global sport. So it kind of is like starting to realize the economies of scale of a global business just because of China and all these other countries that really follow it. And all these other leagues that have popped up through Europe, through Asia, and whatnot. In baseball, you're looking at ourselves in Japan, really. It's not big enough. The NFL, the same thing. It's more of a, U.S. only league. I don't know how you can get there. But soccer is, without question, the most popular global sport. I just don't know if in 15 years we're going to be talking about this on a microphone going, hey, I got to tell you, this best of 7 Sounders Timbers series, wow, it's must-watch TV. I just don't know if it's there here.
Right. I think
the World Cup was unbelievable.
It was. No, it was. There's no question about that.
Yep.
But I don't know. It just seems like when you talk, I've been fed this for so long about how soccer is going to take over and all these different things. And I don't think the interest was that much higher for this World Cup than it was for last World Cup. Now, the United States was not playing in the World Cup, which was obviously a blow to interest here. But I just don't know. The problem is the people that are enthusiastic and knowledgeable about soccer are so partisan that you can't really have a conversation with them about it because it's like talking politics almost. You're like, well, I don't know. Is it that big? Oh, yeah, it is. No, yeah, absolutely. Like, okay, really? And it's just tough to say. On the other hand, you talk to someone who doesn't know anything about it. Obviously, they don't know anything about it. So it's tough to get a straight answer because the people that are into it, they have no choice but to be enthusitic about it. Right. And I understand that, but I'm not sure. Right. It's partisan politics. You can't be sure
how genuine it is either. It's almost like they're almost forced into it. Now, the MLS was founded, get this, in 1995. It's still, how about this? It's 23 years into in existence, and people here definitely still care about soccer globally, not domestically. Yes. So I don't know how that can change unless honestly, I don't even know how that changes because 23 years is a good sample size of where you're at. Now it's definitely growing. I just don't know. I think it can definitely top versus some of these other sports, but we'll see. Listen, having the United States be formidable would be great, but you need better players. Yeah. But World Cup here in 8 years. Split Canada, Mexico, United States. I think it's going to be fascinating. They're going to have the final game at MetLife Stadium right in my backyard if I'm still living here.
It'd be amazing.
That will be cool.
It'd be amazing.
That'll be great for the country and for the game itself. And honestly, something like that, if the U.S. can put together a team, maybe that's what gets you over the hump here. I mean, the last time we had the World Cup here, soccer just wasn't what it was. Soccer has definitely grown a lot. Maybe this next World Cup is or the anticipation of the next World Cup, if we're playing in it, is kind of what gets this thing over the finish line in terms of popularity. And if it doesn't, that's gone. It's over.
And I guess the question is, what is the finish line? You're right. Being the number one sport, is that the goal, or is being a legitimate professional sport in the country? And it's just tough to say. Because the other thing is, just because everyone gets excited about figure skating once every 4 years does not mean that figure skating is a top sport in
if I had to watch it once a week, I would legitimately shut the television off. I would actually cancel cable.
Yes. So there's like the World Cup is great, but that's the best example. Oh yeah, everyone's into it right now, but there are so many friendlies and meaningless soccer games that are promoted on TV. I think that's part of the problem. That even like your friendly between like Panama and Mexico that happens in California gets promoted as this huge event. And then you look at what is this? Oh, it's a friendly. It's promotional toward. Honestly, it's a cash in for everybody. Oh, so great. So, but they promote it as being this big event to make as much money as possible. Before you know it, nobody knows what's a big game and what isn't. The World Cup semifinal the other day with England in it was the biggest English soccer game in 50 years, basically. Yep. And yet your average person tuning in would have seen that and then some game from 5 years ago that England was playing in, and it's marketed as being just as big as far as that person's concerned.
Yeah,
I think that's a mistake too. That now, then again, you're supposed to market these worthless games as a big deal. You're trying to make as much money as you can, but it kind of takes away from it.
I agree 100%.